No, come on, you goof.
I want you to rotate your phone.
Not rotating.
We live?
We are.
We are live again. 3D Politics once again on a Monday night. I've got two out of the three Davids, the most important Davids, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I got David.
Wait a
Oldham.
minute. Last week they were the most important Davids.
Look, I just keep it rolling as fast as I
3D
can.
Politics.
David Oldham and David D'Ambroso. David Van is out on exciting assignment tonight. And we have a very exciting show for you lined up. But first, you should know, get in touch with David Oldham right here at constitutionalgrounds.org. No.
Orcom.
Constitutionalgrounds.org, Orcom, and of course, David D'Ambroso at Dave D'Ambroso right there on Facebook. I'm Tom McKay, your fantastic host for 3D Politics. We're going to talk about TPS slashing their budget. $22 million, according to Deborah Gist. Also, there's boobs on the trail out there. Ladies lifting their shirts and going skating all day long. Very exciting. And of course, the dreaded white OK sign. Made you look. Get ready for a collective punch in the arm. And also, I want you viewers out there to help me be looking for crazy things that the Democrats say, like climate change, which is literally redundant, and things like ending endless wars that Pete Buttigieg says. All those crazy things, and climate change and endless wars. And of course, Nancy Pelosi recently said she wants a word for word transcript, which is literally what a transcript is. Word for word. You guys don't care what I'm talking about.
We're doing technical stuff since David Van's gone.
This is crazy.
He's our techie.
Tap dancing, you guys.
He's the one that sets up all those editorial boards where he personally writes hundreds and hundreds of articles.
Maybe you can help me here. Dr. Gist, the Tulsa Public Schools superintendent. She has said that they are $100 million, I think, less funding from last year. Even if her numbers are correct, it's a minuscule amount from the $5 billion budget that they get each year in the state.
That's bigger than GDP of a lot of countries.
It's amazing what they have. The idea for Deborah Gist is that her job, she thinks, is to continue to lobby for more money for education. She is paid to manage the $22 million shortfall, and so she set up a series of meetings with the public. And the last one here was at Edison Preparatory School. They got a $20 million budget, and she says the number one suggestion so far from the public has been to cut administrative office, which really isn't an option anymore. She says, quote, "We've already made reductions at that level, and the folks people want to make a cut back on, people like me. Unfortunately, it can't."
Well, that's never going to happen. That's what she just said.
I thought I was funny. Deborah Gist is funny.
From her mouth to God's ears.
Unfortunately, it can't be addressed by things that can't be felt by the whole system.
In other words, since her pay is so great, and not everybody can take a cut, and she won't take a cut unless everybody takes a cut.
Well, her suggestion here is that her salary cannot be felt by the whole system, which would make
it's a bunch of gobbledygook.
Why would we pay Deborah Gist however much she gets paid, and it's a lot, if whatever she's doing can't be felt by the whole system, according to her own words? Somebody help.
Well, actually, she's making my point for me.
What is it?
Well, I've been saying for a while now that public education, tax-funded public schooling, is unconstitutional. It is illegal. Why? Because it robs each of us of our individual rights. If we have rights, then they are unalienable. They cannot be voted away and confiscated by somebody else.
Right.
And property, when it can just be declared by a vote of a few people who show up to vote on the weird month elections for bond measures, then puts you in And,
It's sideways, we know. But please comment that it's sideways, because that will jack up the algorithm and cause more of your friends to see this video. Please let us know if you see it sideways.
Should we all lean like so?
because if you flip your phone the other direction, it'll
work fine.
Make it go sideways.
I bet the
right
sound
up.
is great.
Yeah,
we would
let us
hope.
know.
Let
Can
us
you hear
know.
me? They can't hear
So,
us.
Go ahead.
here's
Sorry
the,
about that.
So here's the thing. Because it robs you of your individual right, and choice is part of that right. If you want to give your money or not give your money to Deborah Gist, you have that right. They have declared you do not have that right, and they are forcing us to pay these taxes, whether it be on your home, on your property, on your via sales tax, etc. They're collecting these taxes from us and making out like that they're legal, and there's nothing lawful about it. What she is saying comes directly from that thought process. Hey, if we have the right, then she has the right to declare that she can make as much as she wants. And the sky's the limit. It's a slippery slope.
I think she does have the right. So you're going to have to bear with me. I don't know that I can pronounce these words because I went to public school. But Deborah said that I belong to some kind of group called the Proletariat. And
the proletariat.
And
You're a prole, are you?
Or no, I got that backwards. Of course, it's the public school again. She's bougie. Bourgeois.
Oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
I'm
Bourgeois. Yes.
And so she gets to take all my stuff from me because I had too much.
The thing is, instead of, like, we have hired her to manage this problem. So she is having these
Speak for yourself. We did not hire her.
All right, just let me roll.
I don't understand. We're bourgeois. Apparently, we're the ruling class. Which, mind you, this language is so dangerous because it's no different than what Hitler outlined.
We may never get out of tonight.
We're not. And the problem is, it's the Marxist class system. It's just, you want to make it fascist or you want to make it Marxist. It's unnamed rich people in Marxism, or it's Jewish rich people if it's National Socialism. So we make so much money that she gets to take it away from us and use it any way she wants. She gets to expropriate it. But here's the crazy thing. I think we all make less money than she does. So how are we
I
I think she makes $180,000 a year.
Oh no, try double that.
Yeah, I don't make $180,000 a year.
I think it's double that.
Philosophically speaking, here at the higher level, we have hired her or elected her to manage this problem. And just like Barisi did, where she hired somebody to do the testing, I don't know why we would elect somebody that's going to hire somebody to go look for a company to do what we hired that person to do in the first place. So here is Deborah Gist. She's trying to run the Tulsa Public Schools. She's got a $22 million shortfall. And she runs these community meetings to bring together community people to help her figure it out.
It's the model of efficiency.
I don't know why we hired her if she's going to have to ask the public for help. Now, instead of...
Sounds like the mayor trying to hire a board
to
show him how to do his job and keep his oath.
You'll see me agree with the mayor later tonight on boobs.
And sadly, I will too.
The thing is, with Deborah Gist, she brings together these community desperados that are looking to try to fix the problem. All these, really, they're concerned members of the public that are duped into thinking they're going there to give their ideas about how to fix the problem. They have given their ideas, and they said, cut the administrative pay. And she said, relatively speaking, you can't cut me. So, she says in a Channel 6 interview that she does an exercise with the parents where they all sit down and have a group meeting at the table, and she gives them a $20 budget. And then she gives them a list of things that they can buy with their $20. And it's an exercise for the parents to learn to relative cuts, how to do relative budgeting, because she gives them a list of things and some of it will cost 25 cents, Some of it'll cost 50, but
It's
the
like the new
table.
math. This is like the core
But
math.
no, this is
Do
just
they end up
basically-
spending
it's
$50 like she does?
It is an elementary school education exercise for children that Deborah Gist is pushing on the parents.
So wait,
It's
she's right.
nothing more than a Rorschach test to see what is important for these people. And she talks about
Right.
relative cuts, and the fact is they have made their statement. Cut the administration.
Well,
But
that's relatively
relatively
valuable.
speaking, Dr. Gist doesn't see that as an option,
Well-
even though the public does.
And there's good reason that she doesn't see it as an option. That's her pay. I mean, she has every motive in the world to not
Wait,
to
she's
not
a-
recognize it as an option.
$5 billion budget, you said?
No.
Million.
No, the state. The reference was to the state budget, is like $5 billion a year or something like that. Well, here you go.
It's half the state spending.
Vamp for
This
me.
is education.
Yes.
Yeah, so 2.5 billion. Yeah.
Well, no. but
Well,
for
here's
that-
2012 Oklahoma per pupil spending. 2012 $76.98. That's $7,698, and it goes up to $77.96 in 2013, and it goes up again in 2014 per pupil spending $7,829. And so also from the Oklahoma Regions for Higher Education 2016 annual report, 5-year trend from 2012 to 2016, student scores by subject for ACT, English scores down, math scores down, reading scores down, science scores down, and that's after a performance of 40-year trend from 72 to 2012 of increased spending at state and federal levels, zero associated increase in SAT scores nationally or at the state level. That's
Yeah, our
cato.org.
national tests have been going down. Our scores have been going down since the 1960s. I mean, over 60 years now.
Well,
Okay,
actually,
here
you
you
have to
go.
understand. I just watched a great video that I'm going to be sharing that talks about that is the exact purpose of school. It is not education. It is for compliant subjects.
That's one theory,
And-
you conspiracy theorist.
Well, actually, it comes
It's
from the
'cause
mouth
it's a-
of the founders who created the system.
Not a reliable
Forest
source.
Man.
Since we've gone totally sideways, to correct the record, public education in Oklahoma alone receives $2.5 billion in government subsidized budget every 365 days, Deborah. Can you not teach the children for $5 billion? My God, it's insane.
No, well,
That's
then,
what
and then-
Finland spends. It's amazing. They're #1 in the world, but you know they do things a lot differently. They don't have homework. They pay their teachers more, treat them like professionals. They
Spend
have
less time at
4-day
a day at
school
school.
week.
right, and
Spend less time per day.
few hours
and,
in the day.
and there is much more recess. Well, I don't know why we can't just do that, but whatever. What do I know?
The thing that is wrong with her exercise that it wants the parents to learn how to do relative budgeting is that it teaches and indicates a willingness to work to ask for more money rather than work with limited resources. They're not teaching limited resources.
The parents don't understand the exercise because they don't have a PhD in plunder like Dr. Gist.
There you go. So if we're going to reduce the class sizes, which seems to be one of the questions, and I really don't know if the class sizes have
That
increased
is the
or not.
Marxist problem that she's
But
working
if
on.
you want to reduce the class sizes, you could start by eliminating the truancy laws and the mandatory public school laws. And then you would drop a lot of people that are going to school because they have to instead of because they want to. I think that we don't need certifications for teachers between kindergarten and about 4th grade. You know, after 5th and 6th grade, you can start worrying about, certified, but 6 plus 6 is always 12, 2 plus 2, and general stuff can be taught by outstanding parents of the community. There's no reason to pay for a certified teacher between kindergarten and 4th grade.
What I don't understand is how TPS, Tulsa Public Schools, is producing 18-year-olds that don't know how to read.
Furthermore, where is it? We have a 435 to 1 counselor to student ratio.
Okay.
435 to 1.
I guess it could be 435,000.
The American School Counselor Association recommends a 250 to 1. So,
Oh, okay.
Deborah, there's something you could cut.
Yeah, we need
Well,
more
is it
administration.
435 students to one counselor, or is it-
Counselors to student, is that
We
not
have-
correct?
Are we talking about attorneys or?
Well, given what they've
Students.
said, given what they've got printed there, yeah, 435 counselors per student. That's
That
a lot
sounds
of
about
counselors.
right.
That
Well, I got a question.
that's
What
gotta
does the
count a lot of
counsel?
counselors.
What does the counselor teach?
Do we still have sound there, guys?
I don't know.
Testing, guys. Let us give us a comment if we don't have sound. Can you read this? I just got an icon on the screen.
I don't
Says
see
headphones.
anything. I don't see
Okay.
anything.
Just let us know. Comment if you can hear us.
If you can't
Continue.
hear us,
So also there is an 82.6% graduation rate, which means
Right.
all this money we're spending and they're getting a low B. I mean, they can't even graduate.
Oh, no, it's much lower than that. They lowered the standards to be able to get the rates up with Common Core. Now remember, we still have Common Core. All they did was change the name of so much of Common Core. It's still create the test, teach to the test. It is
Right.
not have the curriculum, have the subject that needs to be taught, figure out what needs to be taught, and then create the test to gauge how much
Yeah, we got sound.
how much you know. It's create the test, and then from that you then create the curriculum, and you force teachers to teach to the test.
Right.
And the entire point of doing that is because it's very easy to just write a simple test and then force the curriculum to match. And by asking the questions in a certain way, you get in your gay agenda, you get your LGBTQ and all of those folks, and you get in all of your weird different agendas, your socialism and your tyrannies, and all of that is worked in because you just create the test first.
But for the amount of money we're spending on government schools, for them to only be able to graduate 82% is pretty weak.
Well, and we have in some places like Oklahoma City, the numbers are at about 11% who can read at grade level.
What you'll find out is if you knock off those mandatory truancy laws, your graduation rate will go up, because those people who are dropping out are people who do not want to be in your indoctrination camp.
That's true.
Clearly, go ahead.
Well, I'm sure, Oldham, that 11% that can read at grade level reference. You mean
That's at eighth grade.
Okay, 8th grade. Is that in Oklahoma City?
In Oklahoma City, I just saw the number.
Well,
it was at 11%. It was slightly higher than the 9% in Detroit.
Well, I'm sure that means that really that just 89% read above grade level, and only 11%.
And they're carrying the rest of them like
Right, so that's what it is. At 11% that can't, get
So-
39 or just up there.
So, and I'm going to beat this one to death for a while. Yeah, clearly there are 435 students to one counselor.
Right.
Now, this begs the question: why in the world do we have a counselor at the school when we are strapped for cash at the school? Wouldn't that be an area we could cut, Deborah? Doctor, couldn't we cut the counselors? Because
I don't
really,
think she watches this show.
education. Oh, I'm sure she's going to call me back. But the fact
The
is,
NFL, they call all the time. Deborah's not going to call.
David called out Socrates the other day. I could say something. The fact is, if we're struggling, like she has said a couple of years ago, we're struggling to keep the lights on and the doors open. If you're really that broke, you'll have to get rid of some counselors, because the key to
Don't do it,
education
Deborah. Don't do
is
it.
educating, and then later, and now what they say.
Except remember that they're indoctrination centers, and they need that kind of personnel to ingrain all this indoctrination.
When
into
you
these
traumatize the
kids.
children with your indoctrination, you're going to need a counselor.
Now remember, we have indoctrination centers from 3 to 20 something, and they're trying to get it through about 25, 26 with college,
Right?
and then we have the prisons, which are doing the exact same thing, and all they are is re-education camps,
Right?
for the most part. And
Criminal university. It's where you go in for something relatively minor or moderate. And you
or
come
not,
out
or just a
serial
political
murderer.
crime, not even a crime that you haven't even harmed anybody. You just had something
Well,
in your
it's a
pocket,
serious
a baggie
problem.
that you're not supposed to
You know,
have.
society has to answer for this.
Or you
I
flash
mean,
your boobs.
Do we want these people to go into a prison and then come out a non-capable, non-productive member of society because now they have a felony, a non-violent felony? So the only line of work available to them is a line of increasing